MailAfrica Agent gives MailAfrica an AI control layer. In simple terms, it lets an AI assistant work with your email infrastructure, and it can also reply to incoming messages for you. The project connects three pieces. MailAfrica handles email delivery and inbound messages. Ngamia provides the OpenAI-compatible language model, and MailAfrica Agent connects them with Python, FastMCP, FastAPI, and SQLite. There are two separate paths. First, the MCP server runs locally and exposes MailAfrica actions as tools to clients such as Cloud Desktop, Cloud Code, Cursor, or another MCP client. Your assistant can list addresses, read messages, send email, manage domains and webhooks, check the wallet, and configure the agent. Second, the webhook server runs as an HTTP service. When a message arrives at an inbound address, MailAfrica posts an event to the webhook. The agent checks the mailbox configuration, sends the conversation to Ngamia, and either returns a draft or sends the reply. You need three different security values. The MailAfrica API key starts with MAIL and is sent in the X API key header. The Ngamia key starts with NGM and is used only when the agent calls the language model. The webhook secret is shared with MailAfrica so the agent can verify the HMAC signature on incoming events. Keep all three in the server's .env file. Never put keys inside prompts, MCP conversations, screenshots, or source control. Start by cloning the repository and entering its directory. Copy the example environment file to .env. Add your MailAfrica API key and your Ngamia API key. For production, also set a strong webhook secret. The documented defaults use the MailAfrica API, the Ngamia version 1 endpoint, the OpenAI/GPT-4o Mini model identifier, a SQLite database named agent.db, and port 8097 for the webhook. Run UV sync to install dependencies. Then run MailAfrica agent check. A successful check proves that both keys work, shows your MailAfrica balance, lists available Ngamia models, and prints the configured model. To use the tool interface locally, run MailAfrica agent MCP. The server uses standard input and output, so your MCP client starts it as a child process. Add the repository path to your client configuration. The important parts are the command UV, the run argument, the directory pointing to this checkout, and the MailAfrica agent MCP command. Once connected, ask the client to list your inbound addresses or show the wallet balance. That confirms the local MCP path is working. In MailAfrica, create or choose an inbound address. If you want replies from your own domain, add a sending domain and publish the DKIM or CNAME records that MailAfrica provides. Then open Inbox, select the address, and open AI Auto Reply. Choose a persona, choose the from address, and start with draft mode. Draft mode generates a response without sending it, so you can review the quality before enabling automation. Run the webhook process locally for testing, or deploy it to a server for production. The endpoint is /webhooks/MailAfrica. In the MailAfrica dashboard, create a webhook for the inbound address using the public URL and the same secret stored in .env. When an event arrives, the service verifies the HMAC signature, accepts the inbound .message received event, and queues the work in the background. The agent fetches the full message, ignores bounces, automatic replies, and bulk mail, loads the address configuration, remembers the conversation in SQLite, calls Ngamia, and sends the reply only when the mode is auto. In draft mode, it saves the generated reply but does not send it. For a simple deployment, Docker Compose builds and starts the service. Expose port 8097 and check the health endpoint. The repository also includes a VPS bootstrap script. It creates a dedicated service user, installs dependencies, installs a systemd unit, and documents a reverse proxy from agent.mailafrica.online to local port 8097. Only the webhook process belongs on the VPS. The MCP process stows on the computer where your AI client runs. Use this order. First run the health check, then run the CLI check, then test an MCP read operation, then send a test email to the inbound address, then inspect the draft, and only after that switch the address to auto mode. Confirm that the reply subject begins with WE, that the form address is verified, and that the wallet has enough TZZ values. If something fails, inspect the service logs and verify the webhook URL, secret, port, and environment file. MailAfrica agent is designed to be cautious. Auto reply is off by default. Draft mode gives you a read gate. The pipeline skips bounces, autoresponders, and bulk mail to prevent loops.
Webhook signatures are verified when a secret is configured. Thread memory is keyed by sender and normalized subject, and the last 40 turns are sent to the model so replies remain coherent. Keep your keys private, test in draft mode, and move to auto mode only after you trust the persona and the workflow. That is the full integration. MailAfrica receives and sends, the webhook wakes the agent, Ingamio writes, and the agent keeps the conversation controlled.